Hello students, let us continue the topic economic importance of fungi. Today we shall be discussing about mushroom cultivation. Mushroom is very common, we all know it. What is mushroom? Actually it is a fungi which comes under multicellular group, multicellular fungi. Since the hyphae, it is made up of more than one cell, and uh, the scientific name of the most common mushroom that we consume, that is the button mushroom, white button mushroom. Its scientific name is Agaricus bisporus, whereas which is usually grown on the paddy or the straw, that is uh, Volvovirilla species. Got it? And the last is the oyster shaped mushroom, which is also known as Pleurotus species. Now, mushroom cultivation has been given a wide boost by our government also, and it is a source of income, not for the farmers or the young entrepreneurs, since this mushroom is highly rich in protein. Now, when we talk about mushroom cultivation, it requires the following steps: compositing, spawning, casing, cropping and harvesting, and preservation. So, how is compositing done? Wheat or paddy straw is taken. After the grains are removed, the leftover straw is taken, and they are to it chicken manure is added. Clear? And some proportion of organic and inorganic fertilizers are added, and the temperature is maintained at around 50 degrees Celsius for about 1 week to 10 days, during which compositing of the wheat or the paddy straw takes place, that is decomposition. Got it? Now the next step is spawning. What is spawning? We already know that the fungi, they do not have true roots or stem. They have uh, slender structures called as hyphae, and interwoven mass of hyphae is called as, or a network of hyphae is called as mycelium. Now, to this compositing paddy or the wheat straw, what do we add? Mushroom seed. Actually, it is not seed. We add the hyphae, that is at equal intervals. After that, the next step, which is very important, is casing. A thin layer of soil is spread over the mycelium seed or the hyphae. Got it? Why it is important? It gives support to the mushroom, it provides the required humidity and prevents quick drying, and also helps to regulate the temperature. Slowly you find that small pinheads appear, which are actually the growing mushroom, and that takes place between within 2 to 6 weeks. uh, the upper part which resembles a pinhead, and the lower portion which is slender. After it grows to its maturity, it should be picked up, or which what is we call as harvesting. Clear? Preservation forms a very important part of the mushroom cultivation, since they get destroyed very easily. So usually they are preserved either by vacuum cooling, which is around 50 degrees Celsius, or it can be done by keeping it in very cold temperature. Got it? That is in a solution of brine or ascorbic acid or citric acid. Then when we talk about the vacuum cleaning, that is that the what is actually vacuum cleaning? The air is removed so that there is no presence of bacteria to destroy or infect the mushrooms. Next we have Tetra Pak also, where it can be tinned or canned or packed, and then they are subjected to low dose of gamma radiations that can kill any pathogen that might be present. Now, since I told you earlier also, mushroom has got a high nutritive value. It has a good amount of vitamins and proteins, and the vitamins are niacin, pantothenic acid, that is pantothenic, and biotin, and its composition is about 3% protein, 4% carbohydrates, 3 to 0.3 to 0.4% fat, minerals and vitamins, and has 85 to 95% moisture. So it is a good source of protein also. That's all about mushroom. You will get it all the steps in your book also. Let us start with the next chapter, skeleton. Got it? Now, this is, what do we mean by skeleton? Skeleton means a framework of bones, cartilages. Got it? So, if you are asked what do you mean by skeleton, you can say that a skeleton is a framework of bones, cartilages, and ligaments. Clear? Now, when we talk about the skeleton, the human skeleton consists of two types, that is axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton consists of the skull, vertebral column, this is the vertebral column, and the sternum, or which is also called as the breastbone. So let us begin. The appendicular skeleton, it consists of the bones of the pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, and the bones of the arms and the legs and the phalanges. Got it? Axial skeleton, I repeat it again. Skull, you have the vertebral column, this part made up of 33 bones, and the that is the sternum. Got it? And you have the this one, which is also called as the breastbone. Got it? That is the rib cage. Now, when we talk about the axial skeleton, first of all, we will talk about the skull. Now, skull, it is made up of that is 8 bones, the top part, and the facial region, they are made up of 14 bones. Got it? I repeat it again. The skull is made up of 8 flat bones, and the facial bones, which are made up of 14 bones. Got it? Now, you find that the bones, the flat bones which are found on the skull region, they enclose the delicate organs like brain, and the bones, they, that is those which are made up of 8 bones, they are held strongly by sutures or ligaments which make it immovable bones. Got it? Now the 14 bones or the facial bones, got it? You have the, including the upper jaw and the lower jaw. The upper jaw is immovable while the lower jaw is movable. Got it? And then at the back part, there is a hole called as foramen magnum. Got it? Through which the spinal cord emerges. Got it? So what is the function of the skull? The function of the skull is to protect the delicate organs like brain, eyes, nose, and ears. Got it? Next we come to the vertebral column. Vertebral column, it is made up of 33 bones. Got it? Also known as spinal spinal column or backbone. Got it? Now they are total of about 33 bones. As you can see in the diagram, you have the neck region, which is made up of 7 bones, that is cervical vertebrae. Got it? Then you have the thoracic region. The first 7 bones are the cervical bone. Got it? The next 12 bones are called as thoracic vertebrae. Then we have the 5 bones next to it, that is the lumbar. Then you have the sacrum. These are also made up of 5 bones, but they are fused, so they represent as one bone. Actually there are 5 bones which is called as sacrum, fused, and the last is the coccyx or the tailbone. Got it? The function of the vertebral column is very important. The spinal cord runs through it. That means it protects the spinal cord. Clear? Then you have got the other features, like I said, the rib cage. Got it? The rib cage, I'll show you the diagram. See, this is the rib cage. These are made up of 12 ribs, and the dagger-like bone is called as the breastbone or sternum. Got it? Now, when we talk about the ribs, you find that there are 12 pairs of ribs. Then you find that uh, there are actually 12 pairs, but you find that the 7 ribs, the first 7 ribs are also called as true ribs because they are attached to the sternum in the front and to the backbone at the back. Now when we talk about the 8, 9 and 10, got it? So the 8, 9 and 10 are not directly attached to the sternum. Therefore, what happens? They are attached to the 7th rib, as you can see in the diagram. That's why they are by the hyaline cartilage, and therefore they are called as false ribs. While the last two, 11 and 12, they are not attached to the sternum in front, therefore they are called as floating ribs. Here, so that is all for this session. I'll go through the different structures of the axial skeleton. Next class we shall deal with appendicular skeleton. Thank you.